Hey everyone, welcome back to the Sunny Side. I'm Sunny, and this video here is one of our high table podcasts. All right, here we go, guys. Let's do it. So your homework for the week from the last one was to try and find or identify when there's a kind of stoppage in energy, or right, because it's all about motion and rest. When you really chunk out, it's motion and rest. And then we move in from there and see where it's going. It's mind, it's body, it's your body, right? Frequency, right? It's your body, and then it's your mind a little faster, and then it's your spiritual essence, right? We're going to stay with mind, body, soul today. So it's your body, then your mind, and then your soul. Guys have been talking about this for so long, it's not even funny. But sometimes we screw it up. And the goal this week was to identify, certain words, and I've been telling you, there are words and phrases and ideas that sound like, wow, that's a good idea, or I should adhere to that, or that's for the greater good, or that's a nice philosophy, and that might be a good way to live. Unfortunately, it's bullshit. It's designed to stop you from going after whatever it is that you're going after. So I guess they're doing the lawn today, right? So that's the thing. And there's so many of these in life, and your goal this week, your homework, was to dig them up and find some. And lo and behold, we had a beautiful one on the channel the other night. Now, I'm not saying anything negative about anyone. I love all my Sunny-siders, but when these phrases pop up, I'm going to make these little videos and show you guys these examples, and there are tons and tons and tons and tons, and it's important to point them out so that we don't fall for these kind of restrictions, especially when we think they're a good idea. If you listen to my meditations closely, my hypnosis meditations, you'll hear me say things like, even if it's a good idea, or even if you think it's a good idea, or even if they think it's a good idea, the deal is it's in your subconscious. Like, forget about the deal. So here we go. What's the next step? So what happened this week? Okay, a Sunny-sider said something along the lines of, her IQ is really high, she doesn't have to be pretty, or something like that. That's not the point. The point was, it invokes an idea, like, would you rather be smart or pretty? Right, that's a question that seems to be floated around. Now, before I explain this to you a little further, I've already given you the answer in the video. I'm looking at the time right now. It's almost at 3 minutes, and I've already given you the answer here. It's a language pattern. I'll give you an example. It's a language pattern designed to trap you. Are you want to be smart or pretty? There was a study once where like a Coke machine was sitting there or something like that, and like blah 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 blah, and then they put a Pepsi machine beside it, and they were like, you would think, did the sale of the Coke go up or down? I think it actually increased, because what's happening now, when you walk past it, you were originally thinking, do I want a Coke, yes or no? But now you're walking past and you're like, do I want a Coke or a Pepsi, is what you're thinking now. And so you spend your money like that. So it's a trap. I'm teaching you guys the traps. And this stuff becomes very dangerous in life. So the idea of, do you want to be smart or pretty, that's incomplete. I already said it's mind, body, and soul. So if you say you're smart or pretty, what about nice? What about happy? What about fun? What about compassionate? What about supportive? What about engaging? What about leadership qualities? What about the ability to take care of things in a crisis? None of that has to do with brains or body. Don't you go like, look who you want. So intelligence is like knowing how to cook, right? What are you telling me? You know how to cook? I'd rather have a pretty. Anyways, it's all irrelevant. If we were in the Far East, in Asia, and you said mind or body, and you said my brains are like so much more advanced than my body, like, you know what they would say? You're incomplete. You're out of balance. And when you come at me and you say mind, body, without saying soul, like, to me, you're unfuckable. You're an incomplete person. You're not even speaking in a complete way. But we're not talking really about that. And we're not blaming anyone today. And I know she's going to shit on me for saying this, but like, this is important to get out. It's not about choices. You see, this mind, like the whole concept of mind, body, the entire conversation in that box, the entire box is a stumbling block. You don't want anything to do with that entire block. Get it the fuck away from you. You want a girl who's smart, pretty, and emotionally sound. Or are you gonna have an incomplete chick? And again, she's like not worth your time. She's like, you know, how low is your self-esteem that you would date someone like that? That's in a like, so your goal. Hey man, I just went to the gym. There's your body, right? Hey man, I'm reading books. I read astrology shit all the time for my YouTube stuff, right? I do all the time. I'm gonna go practice music right now. So I'm working on my mind as well. Emotional state. Oh my God, emotional state. Is this a joke? I'm feeding the bunny and the squirrels this morning. Put myself in a good mood. Mind, body, soul. Don't be led down the rabbit hole away from the truth of this energy of motion, rest, of this. You know, don't let them lead you astray. It's an interesting idea, and we hear it all the time, right? You have a choice. You want that's ghetto thinking. That's scarcity thinking, to think that you could only have one or the other, and you've completely excluded the third because that's ghetto, because your brain can't handle more than binary thinking. Black, white, yes, no, fuck you. Seriously, man, get the fuck away from me. It's not about options. It's not about Coke and Pepsi. It's about, what do you want? When you're faced with these options, they're not options if it's not for you. If you're a vegetarian, I've been saying this, like, they're in my meditation, it's in my books. If you're a vegetarian, you don't eat meat, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal, man. It shouldn't be a big deal. It doesn't matter what kind of smorgasbord's in front of you. If it's not what you do, it's not what you do. If you're not a cheater, right, like in relationships, it doesn't matter how many girls are in front of you. You're not gonna cheat, because like, what the fuck? I gotta get home to my chick, man. or like, but if you are, you're like, you know, so that's just the way it is. To your own self, you should be strong in the inside. It's not about options or choices, right? That's the universe controlling you, which is what I'm trying to teach you here. When, you know, they're trying to control you, they're trying to stop you. It's not about that. Like I said, one of the readings, it's better to not eat than to eat poison. So next time the world's, you know, don't get too caught up in the scene of like, oh, that's blah 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 blah, you know, or like you're like, you know, you're with some people and you get caught up in the enthusiasm and the euphoria and the rush of being with a certain type of people, and you might, you know, follow it along and bring it back to other people. But like, don't do it, man. Be strong within yourself. Watch out. You know, there were a couple other emails. I received a couple other messages. This wasn't a message. This was a live stream. It's okay. Right? I'm using this as an example, not as a negative thing. And the person who said it, I super love her. She's a sunny side. But this is a good one to use. Now I'm going to say something else that might. So this one, okay, this mind body, she's fine, right? She really is smart. She knows she understands what I'm talking about. This is a linguistics thing for her. But for other people, it's a poverty of the mind thing. And for other people, you're being controlled by other people's stupidness. It's the blind leading the stupid. You're being led by stupid. Now, there's more to it. I received message this week about people saying, oh, Sonny, blah, 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 where they like feel guilty about some shit they did literally 50 years ago. And you know who you are. Because like, you feel guilty about shit you did literally 50 years ago, maybe 40 years ago, whatever. Why are you allowing those people to make you feel guilty for anything? Especially, you're way too fucking old to give a shit. Period. I'm younger than you and I don't give a shit. Why in the fuck would you give a shit? Moreover than that, why would you let their bullshit fuck you up and then have the fucking insanity to take that bullshit that you allowed to fuck you up and then dump that shit on me? I would have been perfectly fine if you took that shit to your fucking grave. I wouldn't have put it in the video. But now that it's here, I encourage you guys, watch out for your own bullshit. You know, that's the message of the week. You know, we'll see it in others. You can feel it psychically. That doesn't seem right. Why am I so excited? Why am I nervous? You know, like, why am I not nervous? Like, I should be nervous. Yeah, why am I not nervous? Why am I nervous? You know, when I talk to this girl, why am I nervous? When I do this, how come I'm not nervous? Like, what the fuck, man? No one has the right to dump on you, even if it's your fault. Remember that. Let's go back a bit. So the homework continues to be, looking for and identifying these phrases that hold you back, man. All right? Watch out for poverty of the mind. Watch out for scarcity thinking. Watch out for binary thinking. Watch out anytime there's a choice between two. You know there's this is a language pattern, man. How can you not know that? Well, you now you know it. So next time that happens, you have to just stand there and say, I want this. I want this. There's no choice for me. I want what I want. Or else I'm not interested. And that's the deal. That's the deal. I don't really have very strong boundaries, I gotta confess, Matt. I'm pretty loose in the boundaries. I just don't want what I don't want. It's just that simple. And in addition to that, get the fuck off my ass, man. I don't give a shit. If you're not good looking, I'm not fucking interested. I don't care how smart you are. If your soul isn't, if you're not nice, you don't have a nice personality, I don't give a fuck about how nice you are. My God, and that's where I'm gonna end it. You guys know who I am. You know who I used to be married to. So like, there's no fucking way that's gonna slide. All right. And that's the action. Keep going, guys. More homework. Find out. Source these things. You're out. Notice it. Say, hey, man, you're trying to control me. Hey, that's a subjective comment. Hey, that's gaslighting, man. Hey, that's not really true. The more you learn to recognize these phrases, you'll learn to recognize when people are trying to manipulate you. They're trying to manipulate your energy, your emotion, your money, your love life. People trying to get in the way just to fuck you up. Or maybe someone trying to steal your money, steal your chick, steal your job. It's about motion and rest. And anything that tries to stop your motion, we have to take special note. Later on, I'll teach you what to do with it. Maybe you want to take a rest, maybe you want to explore it, but maybe you do. Maybe you do. But in the meantime, this is your homework for the week. Keep sourcing these. And that's the action from TheSunnySide.net. Up here on the high table, wishing everyone the best of a super amazing day. Good luck, guys, and I'll see you soon.